You know that feeling when people start talking about artificial intelligence and it just feels like this giant, intimidating thing? Well, I am so glad you're here today. I promise by the end of this, we're going to take that big puzzle and snap all the pieces into place together. We're starting from absolute zero, so let's just dive right in. Okay, first things first. Before we can build up what AI is, we have to tear down what we think it is. Because let's be honest, most of our ideas about AI come straight from Hollywood. Yeah, this stuff. This is probably the number one reason AI feels so complicated, or maybe even a little scary. But that's not what AI is. I mean, it's not even close. So right now, let's just agree to hit the reset button, forget the movies, and start with a fresh, clean page. And I really, really mean that. We're going to build this up from the ground floor, piece by piece. No confusing jargon, no prior experience needed. I'm going to be your guide through this, so just trust the process. You've totally got this. So if AI isn't some supervillain in a sci-fi movie, then what in the world is it? Well, the best way to wrap your head around modern AI is to think about something we all know really well, how a little kid learns about the world. Imagine you're trying to teach a child what a dog is. You could try the old school way, right? Give them a rule book. Okay, a dog has 4 legs, it has fur, and it barks. But what about a cat? That fits the rules. What about a dog that lost a leg or a breed with no fur? See, the real world is messy and these strict rules just fall apart instantly. Now think about the new way. Instead of rules, you just show the kid thousands and thousands of pictures. You just point and say dog or not a dog. And after a while, something just clicks. The kid just gets it. That second way, learning by example, that is the entire secret behind modern AI. And this idea actually has a name. It's called machine learning. And it's exactly what it sounds like. We're not programming a computer with a bunch of rigid if-then rules. We're feeding the machine a massive diet of examples, and we're letting it learn the patterns all by itself, just like that kid learned to spot a dog. So what's actually going on inside the computer when it's learning from all those photos? Let's pull back the curtain on this process we call training. This is honestly the best way to picture what's happening inside an AI. This huge, tangled-up switchboard. The technical term for it is a neural network. Just think of one of those old-timey telephone exchanges with millions and millions of wires. A question, like a picture of a dog, goes in one side. The signal zips through this crazy web of connections, and an answer, either dog or not a dog, pops out the other end. But the real question is, how does it know how to get the right answer? Okay, here is the most important part. When you start, as you see in step 1, that switchboard is just a totally random mess of connections. So in step 2, its first guess is pretty much guaranteed to be wrong. But here's where the magic happens. Every single time it gets it wrong, it does step 3. It makes a tiny, tiny little adjustment to those wires, a little nudge to be just a little bit less wrong the next time. And as step 4 shows, it does this over and over and over again. Guess, fail, adjust. Guess, fail, adjust. Millions of times, until that switchboard is tuned so perfectly it gets the right answer almost every single time. That whole cycle, that's training. All right, let's zoom out for a second. If these ideas have been around for a while, why does it feel like AI just exploded onto the scene? Like yesterday? Well, it's actually a really cool story. It's about a perfect storm. So get this, the term artificial intelligence was actually created way back in 1956. There was all this hype, but then nothing. Progress just hit a wall. For decades, we had these periods called AI winters, where everyone got disappointed, the funding dried up, all because those old rule-based systems just didn't work. But then, around the 2010s, 2 crucial things finally showed up, and the whole engine just roared to life. The first thing was fuel. For an AI that learns from examples, you need a mind-boggling number of examples. And the internet gave us that fuel. It gave us oceans of data, literally billions of photos, sentences, and conversations. More stuff than any human could ever see. And the second thing was the motor. And this is the wildest part. It turns out that the powerful computer chips, the graphics cards that were built to make video games look amazing, were accidentally the perfect tool for doing the kind of math that AI training needs. So all of a sudden, we had both the fuel and the horsepower to finally get this thing off the ground. Okay, so now we know how it works and we know why it's here now, so let's create a really simple, clear map of the different types of AI people are always talking about. But first, let's tackle a really big question.
When you talk to a chatbot and it gives you this perfect human-like response, is it actually thinking? Is it understanding you? Here's a great way to think about it. Imagine a parrot that has somehow managed to read every single book ever written. It can stitch together words and phrases to give you the perfect reply to anything you ask. But is that parrot really understanding you, or is it just the world's greatest mimic? That difference between just mimicking and truly understanding is one of the biggest debates in AI today. This table right here, this makes it all so clear. Look at that top row. Narrow AI. This is an AI that's amazing at one specific job, like recognizing your face to unlock your phone or translating a sentence. This is pretty much all the AI that exists right now. The next level down is artificial general intelligence, or AGI. That's an AI that's as flexible and creative as a person. That does not exist yet. And finally, you have the sci-fi idea of super intelligence, something way, way smarter than us. But for now and for the foreseeable future, we are living firmly in the age of narrow AI. So, let's bring all this together. We've gone from killer robots in the movies to the actual nuts and bolts of how this stuff works. So, what's the big idea to walk away with? Here it is. The AI that we have right now is incredibly powerful. It's changing the world. But it's not magic. It isn't alive, and it isn't conscious. It's the end result of some really clever math, a ton of data, and decades of hard work by a lot of smart people. And once you see the recipe, it stops being this big mystery and it starts being what it is, a tool. I want to leave you with this last thought. The best way to think of AI is like a giant, beautiful tapestry. When you stand way back, the image it creates can look absolutely magical, impossible. But when you walk right up to it, you see that it's not magic at all. It's just made of millions and millions of simple individual threads. The magic isn't in any one thread. It's in the way they're all woven together. That's AI. A powerful, intricate tapestry of patterns woven from data. And now you understand how it's made.